Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Peter. Peter is from Florida in the USA. So let's see what Peter has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Peter,
Hi there.
how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Amazing. And tell me where you're from.
Well, I was born and raised in Rochester, New York. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's on the other side of the state of New York City. But I'm currently living in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And why the change from New York to Florida?
Well, my husband and I were living in Buffalo, New York. Are you familiar with Buffalo?
Yes, I had a guest from that actually.
It's a very cold city. We would get like 6 months of snow a year.
Wow.
And we were tired of it. We lived there for 13 years. So we decided to move to Fort Lauderdale because, I don't know, have you ever been to Fort Lauderdale?
No, I haven't been there, but again, I had two guests actually from there.
Yeah, it's summer all year round here.
And how long have you been there for?
7 years.
And you see yourself living there for a long while?
Oh yeah, we love it here. We don't think we'll ever move, really. We love it here.
Peter, tell me a little bit about your career as a writer, actor, an artist, a performer. So walk me through a little bit.
God, where on earth do I start? I mean, I'm 52 years old, so we got like 30 years to talk about.
Walk me briefly how everything started.
Everything started when I was like 19 years old. I kind of stumbled across this audition for a lead dance role in a Broadway musical. Well, not Broadway, but it was a musical in my hometown. It was Hello, Dolly, and I performed in that show, and the theater bug just bit me. I loved performing in theater, so I used to do 2 or 3 plays a year, 2 or 3 musicals a year, and then I just kind of got into. I was a wedding DJ for many years. And I used to love DJing weddings because I used to love to entertain. I used to, I love being the center of attention. You know what I mean? I just do. I love all eyes on me. It's not a bad thing. But it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I got into writing, then I got into producing, then I got into directing, and then I got into stand-up comedy. And I'm just kind of, doing as much as I can in my lifetime.
Wow. And right now at the moment, are you working different projects?
I'm working on 2 major projects right now. Gosh, it's kind of a long story. I'm going to try to give it to you really briefly. In 2019, I wrote a sitcom, and we filmed it at a professional television studio. I wrote a pilot episode. We filmed it at a professional television studio. We filmed it in front of a live studio audience, and it went on to win awards at film festivals. It was doing pretty well. But unfortunately, the pandemic shut it down. So I decided to rewrite the sitcom into a play instead of a television sitcom. It's now a 2-act play, and we performed it last year, and it was a major success, huge success, standing ovations every night. So I'm trying to get that play to like a New York City stage. Okay, so I'm working on that. But I also just wrote my very first short film. It's like a short movie. It's called I Remember. It is not comedy. My entire life has been consumed with comedy. So I decided to spread my creative wings, and I wrote the most amazing psychological drama. I am so proud of this script, William. I really am. So I'm currently raising money to film this movie in January. I only have to raise $4,000 more, which is not a lot of money. We should be able to do it, but it's still stressful when you have to raise money. It's my least favorite part of the process is asking people for money and asking. It's not in my nature to ask people for money all the time, but I got to do it. I just got to do it.
It's getting there. It's getting there. It's slowly gonna get everything done.
It's the journey.
Absolutely. That's what makes more exciting.
Yeah. And it makes you more appreciative, because a lot of people, they get everything handed to them, which is nice. It's, whatever. But I think when you truly work on something and you put your blood, sweat, and tears, and you enjoy the journey along the way, quite frankly, I think that's a little bit more satisfying than if things are just handed to you on a silver platter all the time, you know?
Amazing. Peter, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yeah. Should I be scared?
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Oh wow, I can see that through the game I'm gonna learn some moves, some dance moves. Peter, during the game, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay?
Okay.
Deal. Right, first question for you is, what's your best friends they do that comforts you the most?
What does my best friend do that comforts me the most?
Yeah.
They give me money. No, I'm kidding. You know what? I have been so blessed. I don't have just one best friend. I have many, many, many best friends. I have friends from, you know, from when I was a kid. You know, my oldest friend, we've known each other for 45 years. I was just at her house a few weeks ago. So that's a tough question because I have a lot of friends who do things to comfort me. A lot of times it's just talking to me on the phone. You know, other times it's supporting me. Other times it's you know, inviting me over for dinner. You know, all that kind of stuff. I love time when people spend time with me. That's the greatest gift anybody can give me.
Your best friends, they are in the same business as you, or not?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of very close friends who are in the same business, but like I said, I've got so many wonderful friends, all different types of friends. I have the most amazing diversity of friends, every age, every color, every income level, you know, you name it. I have a friend in that group, you know? So, yeah, so.
Amazing, very good. They're gonna be very happy to watch the interview and to know that.
They already know, trust me, they already know.
Next question, let's do it. Next question, Peter, let's do it. What are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
I would love to go to Germany. I would love to perform stand-up comedy at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
And I would love to be on Broadway someday.
Which one do you think is going to be the first one to happen?
I'll probably... Wow. Oh my God. That's a good question. I'll probably go to Berlin.
Have you been there before?
No, that's why it's on my bucket list. I've never been there.
And why Berlin?
Because I've seen a lot of pictures of Berlin, and I have some friends that live there, and they say it's just absolutely stunning. And I hear it's because I love different cultures. I love learning about different cultures and different ethnicities. And I just hear that Germany is so different, and there's so much history there.
Yeah.
And my husband loves, he loves history. So yeah, so that's why I would just love to go to Germany sometime.
Actually, the interview last night in the Magic Box was a lovely guy from Australia, and he's living in Berlin right now. So yeah, okay. we talk a lot about that, the city. Next question, let's do it. Peter, before the next question, tell me, oh, you there? Okay.
Yeah.
Before the next question, tell me, of course, I could see how much, I can see how much you enjoy your life, your career, but there's always a challenging part. What that would be?
What's my challenge?
Yeah, in your career.
Money. Everything I want to do in my life costs money, and I just don't have that kind of budget. Like throughout my life, all of these wonderful projects that I have done, my sitcom, my play, I performed a wonderful show at the Broward Center. All of these major projects that I've done in my life, I've always paid for myself. I don't make a lot of money, William, You know, I don't make a lot of money at all. It's not like I can just go in my bank account and just, you know, withdraw $10,000. I don't have the, I don't have the freedom to do that. I'm a paycheck to paycheck kind of guy. But I've done a really good job at funding everything myself, you know. But now bringing my play to a New York City stage and producing my short film that I just wrote, I can't afford it myself. So I find myself at the age of 52, for the first time in my life, having to ask people for money, and I hate it. I just hate asking people for money. I'd rather shove pencils in my eyes than to have to ask people and bother them for money. But it is part of the process, you know. You know, I have friends in the industry, and they said, Peter, everybody asks for money. It's just part of the process. It's part of the creative process of getting your movie made or your play produced or whatever. So that is my biggest challenge, is asking people for money and raising funds.
And I think as well, I think, you know, people, the people who helps, they appreciate art. They appreciate that. They know how difficult it is to put all the things together. Do you know what I mean? So I believe, and I'm sure people who helps, they know, they understand how.
Yeah, and it's really strange because sometimes the people that you think will donate, the people that you think will give you money won't. And the people you're like, that guy will never give me a dime, they're the ones that give you the money, you know? Like I have friends who have no money. Like a friend of mine, he said, Peter, I want to donate $20 to your film, but I can't because, well, I will, but I have to wait until next week until I get my paycheck. And I said, told him, I said, listen, I said, if you're so broke, you got to wait until next paycheck to give me a measly $20, then keep the money, you know, use it for your bills, use it for, put gas in your car. Don't worry about me. You know, my show is going to get made with or without your $20. And he's like, no, Peter, I love you. I'm a big fan of yours. I want to see you do well. A week goes by and he actually sent me 40. You know?
Oh my God, that's nice.
But then I have friends who are worth millions and millions of dollars who I ask for a donation. They're like, no.
Your face. You should put that in the right seats when you are there. You know what I mean? When you are leaving the biggest, you know, the biggest things together, all happening, you should put them in the very top, the very front row of the display for sure.
Well, yeah, well, I plan on doing that because I want to have a big premiere at the end of February. I'm renting an old style movie theater here in Fort Lauderdale, and we're going to show the premiere on the big screen. And I'm saving the first 2 rows for everybody who donated. I'm saving the first 2 rows for them.
And I would like to say something as well. I just hope people watch the interview right now on the show. I just hope that they're going to connect with you. They're going to go, you know, on your website, on your...
Connect with me. Connect with me.
Yeah, connect. Let's get things done. Let's get things done. Next question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
What makes me a unique person? I do not lie. Not even little white lies. I don't like doing things like that. Like, you know, if I'm late to a party, I never say, sorry, I got stuck in traffic, you know. I'm just like, sorry, I'm late. I left late, you know, or I was too busy sucking dicks, so I'm a little bit late, sorry, you know.
Do you pay a big price for being so honest?
Yeah, do I get a price? Yeah, give me some money, come on. Yeah, I'm just a really honest person, you know. I have empathy for others. Yeah, well, gosh, there's a lot of things that make me unique, but I think, you know, my honesty and my empathy. Yeah.
Exalt. Next question, let's do it. Okay, Peter, next question for you is, who would you swap lives with for a day, if you could?
All right, so don't laugh at me.
I'm already laughing now.
I would love to swap places with Madonna.
Okay, tell me why.
Because I've been a huge, major fan of hers my entire life, ever since I was a little boy. She came out on the scene when I was 11 years old, and I've just been a major fan of hers. I'm fascinated by her. I would love to perform on stage at a football stadium in front of 80,000 people chanting my name.
Wow.
I just would love that. I just think she is just so, I think she's awesome. She's going through some changes, but I just love her. But you know, I would also love to trade lives with Barack Obama. I mean, what an amazing man he is, you know? I mean, the first Black president, my God, you know, I mean, what an accomplishment that was. I mean, um, I would love to trade lives with Bugs Bunny. I would love to trade lives with Bugs Bunny. Can you imagine being Bugs Bunny for one day?
Tell me, let's say that you have the superpower of being, not superpower, but that have the opportunity of being in a table like with Madonna and Barack Obama. What would be you have just the chance to ask one question for both. What that would be?
If I can ask him a question?
Just for both. One question for Madonna and one question for Barack Obama.
I would ask them each if they can give me $1 million.
That's not a question. That's you are.
Ask them. Can you give me $1 million? That's a question.
I can see you run away of the being in the spot. Yeah.
What would I ask Madonna? I would ask her. This is something I don't think she has ever answered in any of her interviews. I would ask her what she regrets the most out of her career. Like, you know, what phase of Madonna do you look back on now that you just look back on in shame? You know what I mean? Wow. I would love to hear her answer to that. Barack, what would I ask him? That's a tough one. I mean, what do you ask Barack Obama? I mean, I would want to know what made him actually think at some point in his career, what made him think that he could actually be president of the United States? I mean, come on, a Black kid growing up, you know what I mean? Like, how many Black kids growing up are saying to themselves, I'm going to be president of the United States someday? You know what I mean? Like, no Black kid ever thinks that. Yeah. At what moment did Barack say to himself, it's a possibility, you know, it's a possibility and I'm going to go for it? Was it a teacher that inspired him? Was it, you know, his parents that inspired him? Was it, you know, his wife that inspired him? Or, you know, was it a combination of things? That would be very interesting to know. Like, what was that aha moment? Was it Oprah? She's pretty convincing, isn't she? I'm going to tell you some facts about myself. I literally, when I shaved, completely shaved, and I have short hair, people say that I look like Barack Obama. And I can tell you a few situations like through my life, the last 10 years, that people, they literally said, oh my God, when I saw you for the first time, I literally thought I was in front of Barack Obama. And I was working for Disney Cruise Line 6 years ago, and I was on the ship, like on working the ship, and suddenly I had so many situations that even people there, because I need to shave every day, I need to have very short hair, and I had this lady. She approached. She was in a group of friends, and she was laughing when I got close, and she said, "I'm so sorry. I'm just laughing now because I can't stop staring at you because I feel like literally I'm close to Barack Obama." And also, a little child one day, I was literally working on the ship, and this little child, I was 7 years old, he looked at me, he came, I thought he wanted to have some information or something. He was looking at me, he's like, oh my God, you kind of look like Barack Obama. And I look at him and I said, I could be Barack Obama. And his eyes started growing up like that. So I was like, no, I said, no, I'm joking, I'm not Barack Obama. Are you tall? Are you tall? I'm 5'11". Okay, all right, yeah. I think Barack is over 6 feet, isn't he? Is he? Oh, I don't know. He looks tall. He looks very tall. Imagine I can totally see it. I can totally see it in your face that you kind of resemble him. Yeah. Anyway, what a compliment! My goodness, it's like wow. Ready for another one? Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, Peter from Florida. Say again?
Can't touch this.
Okay, next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
I think they need to know how to argue.
Tell me why.
They need to know how to argue, because there's a proper way to argue and there's an improper way to argue. My husband and I have been together for 20 years. Over 20 years we've been together. So I've certainly made a lot of mistakes with arguing because I'm Italian. So the first thing, my natural instinct is to yell and scream and, you know, curse and insult and all that kind of stuff. And I think when people argue in the heat of the moment, they say so many things that they regret later. And a lot of times you just can't take those things back. It doesn't matter how many times you apologize, you know, you've already put it out there. So I always tell people that in the middle of, if you're about to have a major argument, to just stop, walk away, and let an entire day pass. Cool off, you know. So I think people need to know, you know, how to argue with each other. I think people need to know. I think you need to know each other's families, you know, because the old saying holds true. You don't just marry him; you marry his family. You know. Yeah.
Two questions in one for you. The first one is, through those 20 years, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him so far? And also the second part of the question is, what is the biggest difference between both and the biggest similarity?
Well, Mark and I are kind of on the same page of life. We kind of look at life the same way. You know, excuse me, in terms of, you know, just, you know, just people in general, how we feel about people, how we want to conduct ourselves. You know, we want to be kind, we want to be truthful, we want to be, you know, want to empathize with people. We both don't really drink a lot. We're both, you know, we both don't take drugs, you know, things like that. But we are very different. I mean, Mark, both of our backgrounds are very different. Mark comes from a very different upbringing than I do. So what was the first question? Something about
the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him.
Well, that's easy. When I met Mark, I was 32 years old, and I was still kind of in the coming out of the closet process. I was very, very uncomfortable being an openly gay man. I was still very repressed and very shy. I would never hold his hand in public. I would never be seen at a gay pride parade, you know. And Mark, he's the opposite. Mark, he's never been in. I mean, he's been out of the closet since he was a teenager. He's never, he doesn't know what it feels like to be in the closet. He's just always been honest and open with his life. So he really taught me, I mean, he just kind of guided me out of the closet, and you know, he introduced me to the gay community and what it's like to be okay with it. And I went to my first pride parade with Mark. I went to my first circuit party with Mark. I went to my first bathhouse with Mark. There were just so many firsts with him, you know, and I thank him for that. God knows where I would be if I, you know, I still have friends that are my age. I'm 52. I still have friends in their 50s who are still in the closet. You know, I mean, that might be me if it wasn't for Mark. I may have just gone down a different road, but that was the biggest blessing Mark has ever given me. You know,
Who fell in love first?
Who what?
Fell in love first.
Oh, he did. He did. And yeah, even he admits that.
Three questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Peter from Florida. Next question is, share with us a crazy or funny story that happened to you when you were a child at school.
Boy, I really have to remember a long time ago. Thanks a lot.
Did you like school?
I hated school. I hated high school. I hated college. You want a fun story?
Crazy, funny. What do you think about your school time? What the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh God, I led such a depressing, repressed life. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't go out much because I was so closeted. Every time I would want to go out with my guy friends, they just wanted to go out drinking and cruise for chicks and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really partake in that. Then I went to college. I mean, I used to spend weekends all by myself in my dorm room doing nothing. I mean, I really, I didn't come alive until I was 33 years old, okay? But to answer your question, the funnest thing I ever did in school, honey, I've done nothing fun in school. There's just nothing. I can tell you plenty of fun stories from 35 on, but in high school, probably not.
That's an answer. I mean, at the end of the day, that's an answer. You know,
I didn't really have your typical childhood or your school. I didn't have the school experience or the college experience. None of that. None of that. It was just me, myself, my dirty little secret of being gay, huddled up in my bedroom, crying myself to sleep every weekend. I mean, it was miserable. Yeah.
Wow. All right. 2 questions left for you.
Okay.
But before the next question, as I can see how much you think about your closed life, not being gay. What was that? Was something connected with your family or religion or society? What that you didn't feel like you could be yourself?
Well, first of all, I have the most wonderful family anybody can ever ask for. I'm very blessed in that capacity. I've got a wonderful Italian family. I come from a very close, tight-knit family. Both my parents, they're still married after 58 years.
Wow.
My sister and I are very close. All of my nieces are very close. However, I was raised in a very right-wing Republican household. My father was very, very right-wing, conservative, and I'm the complete opposite of my father, but we coexist. We do. We get along just fine, my dad and me. We have a lot of differences. We have some arguments, but for the most part, we are very, very close. So I kind of grew up in the suburbs, upper middle class family. My father was a successful businessman. So, growing up in the 70s and 80s, nothing good was ever said about the gay community. Okay, nothing good. It's not like it is now. Back then, it's shameful to be gay. It's not glorious and fabulous to be gay like it is now. So not only did my family convince me that being gay was wrong, but the entire world was convincing me that being gay was wrong. So it was just me and my secret. It's just not something that you admitted back then, William. It's just not something you admitted, But
regarding your fascination about Madonna, were you open about your love to her at the time, or you kind of listen to her private?
I kind of listened to her privately, and it's really funny. Okay, you want to hear a funny story? Okay, I'll tell you a funny story from when I was a teenager, okay? It has nothing to do with school, but it's a funny story, all right? So I have 2 older sisters. My sister Linda, who's 2 years older than me, she was fascinated with Madonna. She was one of these, 14-year-old girls that used to wear all the bracelets and the Madonna clothes and the jacket and the mini skirts. So every time my entire family would leave the house, because like I said, I used to spend weekends home alone. I never used to go out, but the weekends, my parents would go out, my sisters would go out. As soon as the house was empty, I'd run upstairs and I'd put on my sister's clothes because we were the same size at the time. You know what I mean? And I would put on her Madonna jacket and I'd put on her bracelets and I'd go into the living room. I'd push all the furniture out of the way, and I would put on Madonna music and I would dance like Madonna, you know, and I would do all her moves and all that kind of stuff. So, no, I didn't do that in front of my family. No, I did that in secret.
Have you ever been caught or not?
No, I do it now publicly. I do it now, but not back then. I'm going to send you a video, okay?
Please.
Yeah.
Next question is, what is one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Oh my God, I got to pick one. I'm an eater. Well, I think sushi. I love sushi. Not if, but when I become rich and famous, when Madonna and Barack Obama give me $1 million each, I'm going to hire a sushi chef to come and personally cook sushi for me. But I'm also Italian, you know, so I love pizza. Oh, I love pizza so much. So, but yeah.
Do you like cooking? No.
I would enjoy cooking more if I had a proper kitchen. You understand? We have a beautiful condo here. Mark and I have a beautiful condo, but our kitchen is limited, you know. If I had a proper kitchen, I probably would enjoy it more, you know.
Of course, with those 2 million you're gonna get from both, you're gonna be able to get a bigger kitchen for sure. Ready for the last one?
Sure.
Do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now. You know, they would like to start a career as a stand-up comedian or as a writer, an actor, producer, you know, in the performance field. What would be your best piece of advice?
My advice would be never to listen to people tell you either not to do something or you shouldn't do something, or if you want to do something, do it. There's so much negativity out there. I mean, my God, you have no idea the kind of messages I get from people, you know, telling me, you know, how stupid I am, or I'm not funny, or this, that, and the other thing. And there's so much negativity out there. And, you know, when I was growing up, my parents, you know, like I said earlier, I've got great parents, don't get me wrong, but they didn't really encourage me to follow the entertainment path that I truly wanted to follow back then. I kind of did things like, you know, like my father just wanted me to go to college and get a job. That was his want for me. Go to college, get a job. So that's what I did. I didn't want to disappoint my father, you know. Luckily, about 12 years ago, I said, that's it. I'm done with corporate America. I'm done chasing the dollar. It's time to chase the dream and do what I truly have been wanting to do all my life. So I quit my entire life at the age of 40, and I started pursuing show business, and it was the best decision of my life. So I guess my biggest advice is, if you want to do something, do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait till you're 40 like I did. You know, just think where I'd be if I started, you know, at 20. Yeah, so.
Good one. Just before the next question, do your parents, your dad, have ever been in your audience?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Are you kidding? My parents are my biggest fans. They
Wow.
are front and center every single time I have a show. You know, I was heavily involved in theater my entire life. I did my first play at the age of 19, and I would do 2 or 3 plays a year for many years. You know, my parents were always there. They were always front row center. You know, then they've been to a couple of my comedy shows. It's a little bit difficult now because I live in Fort Lauderdale and they live in New York, and they can't just fly down every time I got something going on. But yeah, they're always in the audience when they can be. Yeah.
When you do the stand-up comedy that I was watching a little bit, and I could see you're very raw. You talk a lot about, you know, kids and everything. Do you feel more hesitant when they are there, or you kind of just go with the flow and, you know, say whatever normally? Do you feel more, say, shy or something? You know,
no,
just
oh my God, no. I prefer my parents to be in the audience. I prefer my parents to be there. If I know my parents are in the audience, it's going to be the best show ever. I don't get
Wow.
nervous. I don't hold back. No, not at all.
Sweet.
Not at all. So.
Last question for you is, and I think it's going to be very easy. Let's see. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you be, where that would be, and why?
I don't think I would ever leave Fort Lauderdale. That's how much we love it here. However, when I get the $1 million check from Madonna and Barack, I would have places in other parts of the world where I can go visit. Like I would have an apartment in New York City. I would love to have an apartment in LA. I would love to have an apartment in Toronto. I would love an apartment in Australia and London and Amsterdam. Oh my God, I love Amsterdam. And Berlin, you know, that's what I would do. I would live in Fort Lauderdale, but I would have places all over the world. So,
okay, good one. Not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? Oh my God, look
oh
your face.
God.
I'm sure you'll just pretend. You're very good for sure.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
One word for family.
Say that again?
Family, one word.
Family, Mark, my husband.
Money.
I need some.
One word for love.
Love? Dogs.
Life.
Satisfying.
Sex.
Sex. I totally blank up here. Sex. Not as important as it used to be. I don't know. I can't think of anything. William, sex. Okay, feels good. Sex. Anal. Anal.
Religion.
Religion. Oh, fake news.
Politics.
Corrupt.
How about friendship?
Grateful.
Fear.
Choice. It's a choice.
Desire.
Follow it.
Regret.
Learn.
Success.
Patience.
Wish.
Never wish. Do.
Happiness.
All around you. Find
One
it.
word. One word for New York.
Oh, you keep saying one word and I'm giving you like 2 or 3 words. Sorry about that.
That's okay, not a problem. I love it.
Okay.
One word for New York.
Filthy. So wait, say sex again.
Sex.
New York.
You're confusing people, Peter. Confusing people.
I'm confusing myself.
One word for Florida.
Southern.
One word for Barack Obama.
Oh, God. Barack. Brilliant.
Madonna, one word.
Inspirational.
Okay. One word for performer.
Me.
Somehow I... And the last one now, I'm gonna read it. mybigfunnypeter.com, one word.
It's my website.
So one word for that.
Visit.
And donate.
Donate.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely husband for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, Tell me the most beautiful thing about Peter, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What he would say.
Okay, so he doesn't. I'm very controlling.
Are you Scorpio?
What's that?
Star sign, astrology. Are you
Oh,
Scorpio?
my sign is Aries.
Okay, when you said controlling, I thought you're Scorpio because I'm Scorpio, and controlling is something really bad about Scorpio.
See, isn't that weird? Because my husband's a Scorpio.
Which day?
He's November 5th.
I'm joking. I'm November 17.
Okay. But I say it's funny because he's a Scorpio and Mark does not have a controlling bone in his body at all. None. I'm very controlling. I'm very controlling just because I don't know, I'm just controlling, you know. And it's not bad to be controlling because let's face it, controlling people get shit done, okay? But I think he would continue to complain about that as far as I'm concerned. Mark would definitely say that I am a very, very caring person. I am very maternal. You know, when he's sick, that's it. I take care of him like I'm, you know, Florence Nightingale. You know, I cook for him, I clean for him, I make him dinner, I make him tea, I put him to bed, I take his temperature, you know, I become his own personal nurse. It's just me. It's just in my DNA to do that. But he would also say how talented I am. Mark thinks I'm extremely, extremely talented with everything that I do, everything, all facets, all, you know, producing, directing, writing, stand-up comedy, acting, everything. He's always impressed with me as far as that's concerned.
Amazing. Look, the hearts coming out of your hair. Like,
I have it good. And the funny thing is, like, Mark is my very first boyfriend. I've never had a relationship before him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I met him. I was 32. We met, and you know, he kind of courted me, and we've been together ever since. I've never had a boyfriend before him.
It's beautiful to hear that, Peter, actually, because, you know, the gay scene, you know, it's maintain a long relationship. It can be it can be a challenge. And also, you know, he was your first boyfriend and you're still together for over 20 years. It's beautiful. I think it's amazing to hear that. I think it's fascinating.
Thank you.
Let's play now, Peter and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. I wish I knew that you're a big fan of Madonna. I would have prepared like a big, good selection of Madonna. But before you ask me the question, top three favorite songs of Madonna ever.
I love her. What's the word? Arrangement. She did it in her concert. It's called Music Inferno. It's a combination of her song Music and the song Disco Inferno.
Okay.
They kind of collaborated both of those songs, and it's just the most brilliant song ever. I love her song Substitute for Love.
Beautiful.
And I was a huge fan of Vogue. Those are three. Yeah, I can go on and on, but those are the three that really come to mind. Yeah.
And when you're dancing there, have the time of your life when you're a teenager, which one you're like performing the most?
Dress You Up, her concert version of Dress You Up.
I love that song. I love that.
From the Virgin Tour. Look it up on YouTube. Virgin Tour, Madonna, Dress You Up. I still to this day can do that entire dance.
Oh my God! You're just teasing people now to send a message. Oh, please do it online. Please. You can ask me a question now, Peter.
Ask you a question. Okay. Just one, or do I get a few questions?
Just one.
Just one.
Okay, let's do two.
Okay, so what do you like most about America and what do you like least about America?
There's the two questions I can see, yeah? I'm joking. Oh, really? Is it two? Two in one?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
Good question. You put me in the spot. I've done already over 800 interviews and nobody asked this question yet. I love that. What I like the most about America and what let's say, less like about America. or least? Good question, actually. Never thought about that. I think back in Brazil, we have this America dream. Yeah, like South America people, we have this, live in America. You know, we have this fascination about America. Right. What I like. Okay. Good point. Okay. You like put this spot, yeah?
I stumped you.
Okay. I think what I like, what I like about America is, the diversity. I think, around America, all the states, I feel like when you go to, I've been doing the Magic Box, and I have so many people, different states, and I realized that they're so different. If, I see different things about. That's why it's fascinating. That I've been talking to people like a lot. The most guests I had on the show, they're from America, and through that journey, I realized how like different states, the way they express themselves, the way they talk about the states. I tend to ask questions when I don't know anything about the state. I always ask questions, and it's so fascinating to see the diversity, how they express themselves, and also what I like the most as well. Now I'm going to start talking. Okay, I'm not going to stop now. What I like the most as well, like you, I have so many guests on the show that they live in different states. They grow up in different states, and when they talk about it, I can see the difference and how they enjoy and how they, what they don't miss about their state or what they miss the most. So I think that's what I like the most about the diversity around states. I come from Brazil, and we are kind of, we are different states as well. And when you go to Brazil, each state you go within a different country. So that's this vibe I have from America when I talk to people from different states. What is like the most? That's going to be even harder to answer. And I think maybe, okay, I'm going to say not based in my experience, but what I've heard like through my my life and living in England, Portugal, or living in a place where I have a lot of friends from different countries. Yeah, I think it comes across that way. That's oh my God, I don't want to sound horrible, but that's American. They are the best. They are always the best. I always have this impression, not based, as I said, on my experience, but based on people talking on TV or, in a friends like party conversation. When people talk about America, they always come across people saying that they think they're the best, or they come from. I understand as well. I understand.
So you think that Americans feel superior?
Yes. Not that I feel, but that's what the impression I have based. You see how I'm putting myself out. I'm clarifying. No, I'm just joking. But the impression that I've made through, let's say, my conversational knowledge about people, like talking about their views about America or Americans, or also about politics and everything happened in America, because the biggest economy, all those things put together. Do you know what I mean? That's, I think, why the people have this impression about Americans or America. So yes, it's something that, again, it's not, it's based on what I've heard, what I've, experienced, let's say. So that's, I come across, that's okay, superior or confident as well. Very confident. I think they're very confident. The way, I think maybe the way you guys talk, or maybe I don't know, express yourself, come across as confident or superior. That's
I can tell you with great confidence that the America that I grew up in the 70s and 80s is not the America that I'm living in today. America has changed so much over the years. There doesn't seem to be any more rules. Everybody seems to fake they can do and say whatever they want to do and say, and if for any reason they get questioned or arrested or told they can't do it, they start screaming discrimination, they start screaming this, that, and the other thing, and they find some kind of loophole, and then now they're allowed to do it. So the country, to me, has just been so chaotic over the past several years that it's getting worse and worse and worse. But I've always believed that, every country has its pros and cons. You know, I never really considered myself superior just because I live in America. I mean, there's a lot of things about America that's a hell of a lot better than other countries, but there's a lot of things about other countries that's a hell of a lot better than America. So every country has their pros and cons, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, as well, I just thought about something as well now, Peter. That's for example, I love sports. I grew up like playing volleyball, and now I love like following sports, like World Cups, you know, Olympics. And I remember growing up. Watching, you know, the highlights and everything. And America was always the top. You know what I mean? The medals always the top. And I think that comes from that as well. You know what I mean? It comes from those kind of growing up, seeing those like American, the best, you know, they always get the most medals, like gold medals and everything. So I think that we kind of being raised somehow in this concept in South America, I'm talking about. So I think all comes from that as well. We have this American dream, or, you know, that we can change our lives there because the superiority, like, you know what I mean? So I think all is connected with that. You know, it's not something like, let's say, personal, it's about the impression that we have, that we create, that the society in South America maybe, you know, taught us or something. It could be from there. You know what I mean? So that's how, this impression come from.
Yeah, right on.
In a positive way, okay?
Yeah.
Peter, did you enjoy the show, the interview?
Yeah, this was fun, William. Thank you so much. It was a really nice surprise to hear from you. So
thanks so much for taking the time, for sharing your experience, and for being so open. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
Something that I live by? Stop being so negative. Like, everybody's so negative these days, you know? With social media, there's so much bickering going on social media. People always feel like they have to give their opinion and disagree with people. And if you don't agree with somebody, they're the bad person because they don't share the same views as you do. What I've been trying to do more and more is I've been trying to not comment on people's posts, whether Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, because you always have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of comments of people bickering and fighting and saying, you know, politics, Trump sucks, Joe Biden's this, Joe Biden's, everyone's just fighting. So I've been trying not to offer my opinions anymore in the form of comments on, you know, social media. And I think we need to clean that up. We really do. We need to clean that up. We have to start understanding that we can agree to disagree without fighting about it, you know? So I guess that is just, you know, my last thought is mind your own damn business and keep your opinions to yourself.
If you have something good to share, just share.
Unless they ask you, unless somebody asks you your opinion.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the interview, and good luck on, you know, on this project that you are working now. I just hope that they're gonna watch the interview and somehow they're gonna, you know, help and get engaged with you as well. Okay.
Well, the best thing to do is to follow me on social media. You know, I go by My Big Funny Peter. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are the ones that I'm on most. My TikTok page is a lot of fun, so I've been concentrating more on TikTok, and I've gone over the past few months, I've gone from 500 followers to 18,000 followers. So it's doing really well. But that, you know, if you follow me, then you'll be updated on things that I'm doing, fundraisers that I'm having, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. And regards
to welcome, William.
Keep in touch, okay?
This was fun. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye, Peter. Take care.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.